How's it going? This is Bluntest Diagram from Duck TV, and today we're going to be doing a playthrough of Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. This was such a hype-ass intro. I remember we used to restart the game just to see this.
Few know the truth. He was mortal once.
As were we all.
As were we all.
So yeah, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, basically the whole Legacy of Kain series, were they really famous for voice actors. In fact, they brought a lot of the voice actors back for Castlevania recently.
I stood with Kain and my brethren at the dawn of the Empire. I have served him a millennium. Over time, we became less human and more divine.
Look at his jealous ass. Even with the animation, you can tell. The only thing is, I wish that the brothers in the background kind of would have been a little bit more distinct. So you might be able to kind of identify them later on. Even through subtle means. I mean, you'll kind of see what I mean later on, maybe. Oh, man. Look. Oh, he doesn't like that. So this is the remastered version. You can decide for yourself if it looks a lot better. I think it looks about like one generation's worth of an upgrade. This used to be a PS1 game. It came out 25 years ago. That makes me feel old. This was definitely a game for my childhood.
Kind of reward.
Sorry, I'm like acting all of this out too as this is all going on. Oh man, this is one of the greatest like visuals in any sort of video game. One of the greatest like landmarks or something like that. That's just dope.
There was only one possible outcome.
I got all kinds of badass stuff in Nosgoth's. Just such great lore.
I, Raziel, was to suffer the fate of traitors and weaklings, to burn forever in the bowels of the Lake of the Dead. Cast him in.
Doesn't really explain why he's just wounded and they can toss him in, I suppose, but oh well. And why his feet are already hooved as a vampire. Do the vampires have hooved feet?
Tumbling, burning with white-hot fire, I plunged into the depths of the abyss. Unspeakable pain, relentless agony.
Such a great premise.
Ceased to exist. Only this torture and a deepening hatred of the hypocrisy.
And this game is so angsty. It's like the perfect game for like a 12-year-old that's just fed up with just how stupid the whole system is.
And my torment receded, bringing me back from the precipice.
This was definitely a nostalgia trip going back to this.
Destroyed me.
It destroyed me, yet I lived.
I lived.
And sorry, I might cut some of this whatchamacallit audio out also. This is my first time doing one of these. Like I said, I'm Bluntest Diagram. When I first did this, I wasn't even going to talk at all. I was just going to use some of the footage for an episode of Duck TV and kind of decided, oh man, look at this. Real quick, that in the original, it obscures, I forget what this dude's name is. It's not Mobius or whatever.
I know you, Raziel. You are worthy.
What madness is this? What pitiful
Does he
form
introduce
is this
himself here? I forget.
Inhabit? Death would be a release next to this travesty.
You did not survive the abyss, Raziel.
Yeah, no shit.
I have only spared you from total dissolution.
I would choose oblivion over this.
So dramatic. Everyone in this game, and it's the premise of all of these games where they're like, you did this to me, fuck you, I'm going after you.
You are reborn.
The only thing that's kind of inverted is that, and I'll get into it a little bit, is that he's, because this is almost a retelling of the original game Blood Omen. So this is based off of the Legacy of Kain series. And there's a bunch of different games with different main characters, and they all intertwine. That actually the villain of this game is the main character of the original game Blood Omen. And I played Blood Omen first. And so when this game came out, like I was already like excited to play it. I was already hyped. And back in the day, there weren't as many commercials and stuff like that as it was nowadays. It was kind of more like a socialite club where you subscribed to magazines and stuff like that, and you got all of your info from there. There wasn't the web like there is today, and YouTube ads and all of that stuff. So, I mean, as a kid, you were already looking for stuff like this.
I can make it possible.
Here we go. And this is basically the exact same beat-for-beat kind of opening of what happens in Blood Omen, where... Although I love the opening of Blood Omen. I won't spoil it too much, but basically you play as Cain. You know, some stuff happens to where you get assassinated by just some cheap highwaymen, or I don't know whatever word you want to use. You get by some cheap robbers or whatever. You get killed, and Cain's pissed. And they offer him to come back and to get revenge, and of course he takes it, and it turns him into a vampire. And so... these games, I forget if this was a PS1 or a PS2 game now that I look back at it. It had to have been a PS1 game. I think that it was same generation as Blood Omen. Anyways, these games were like a slightly more grown-up version of The Legend of Zelda, or whatever, just on a different format. They were more three-dimensional, and they had more of like a gothic, kind of more adult, you know, because you weren't just some kid trying to run around and save your kingdom. There was kind of like darker themes at play of revenge and stuff like that. And let me give a forewarning too. So when I first was playing through this game or whatever and streaming it, I didn't know what I was going to use, and I wasn't recording my voice. And so I'm going back in retrospect and watching it all over again, and now I'm recording myself.
You are weak. You must feed.
The old hunger has left me. I have no desire.
Oh, you gotta do something different now, Raziel.
Your bloodthirst is
as dirty as it is, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You've become a
I mean, that's such just a dark-ass concept, too, where it's like he doesn't just drink blood, he drinks souls. And there actually is a premise for these types of creatures. They're called liches. Liches. And they wanted to actually make an MMO in the Soul Reaver world. Oh, I didn't realize your health is so low at the beginning of the game. Look how you really are weak. You're kind of and the whole gimmick of this game, and it was actually, and I probably bring it up in one of the other videos, so if I repeat myself, sorry, this is just the first introduction one. I'm kind of discovering all the buttons again, because in the original there wasn't that map. That was different. You can't access like a map, and to be honest too, in retrospect or whatever, it is cool that this map tells you the number of the number of, you know, like additional items you can get, like hidden health items, hidden magic items. It tells you how many are like there that you have or haven't discovered yet. I didn't realize that was glowing. Is that going to shatter here in a little bit, where you cannot go forward unless you get to the next cutscene? What's the point of that? Anyways, the map does tell you that, but other than that, I mean, these fucking... You're going to see me getting lost a lot in this playthrough, so I also apologize about that. This is my first time doing something like this, and I didn't even think about doing a playthrough, really, until I started kind of going through the game and thinking that the game looks cool, but I might as well start talking about it a little bit, and it might be interesting. So maybe it's not going to be interesting, maybe we're not going to get any views, but you never know until you try. And so... Yeah, look at these guys. Look at these nasty fucks. Green men. I'm starving a little bit in real life, so I'm going to take a pause from this and then come back here in a second. I suggest you do the same. No, I'm kidding. Leave it on if so. Watch this while you eat. There's me bringing up the map for no reason. I'm trying to high jump is exactly right, which I don't think you even need to do for this first part. You can see there's the edge of water. You're gonna come onto the surface here, and then there's a portal to take you into the. There you go. Okay, so he does call them portals. I wasn't sure.
With their aid, you may gather matter and will yourself to become manifest in the physical world. This is taxing, however. Your strength must first be fully restored.
Yeah, it ends up being a hassle sometimes, and you gotta find these portals. You can go... Yeah, you explained it right here, sorry.
Your physical body at any time.
So yeah, you can only go into the physical realm through these portals, but anytime that you want to, if you're just like, hey, I'm looking for something...
Your manifestation in the physical world. If you fail to feed or absorb too many wounds, this fragile matter will dissolve.
Oh man, could you imagine if they sped that up in this game or whatever to kind of make it like, I don't know, more tense? But this game is such a... you get lost so often that would be so infuriating until you get the Soul Reaver.
You are young yet, Raziel. You still retain many of your vampiric weaknesses.
So here we go. It's showing you that you're going to have to be doing some platforming here. And really, these are actually cool mechanics in the game, believe it or not. That all of this stuff makes for interesting puzzle solving. So they really were so smart in incorporating the actual lore of, I guess, vampirism or whatever. Vampirism. Anyways, being a vampire, they're really smart in incorporating all of that into... here's me looking around. Sorry. I do that a lot. I'm warning you right now in this playthrough, I didn't want to miss any items, which is stupid to even say because you really need all of the abilities before you can go traversing new areas. I'll probably fall into this right now just to see what happens. Guess not. Alright, good job, Justin. That's new also. It didn't previously indicate on the fluoride, I think. You could...
What are these creatures?
You don't recognize them?
They are the children of
it. What does that mean? I'm assuming that they mean...
These foul scuttling beasts could not be kin of our high blood?
Do you suppose that time stood still for you, Raziel? Much has changed since you passed from the world.
There's another great mechanic of this game is that like it's a future just dystopia where like vampires have taken over and they've fucked everything up.
I knew my opponent's weaknesses, having suffered them myself. Physical
they look like a
wounds
football
are
team from Mutant League
Vampires'
Football.
immortal flesh begins to close as soon as Vampires need only fear those wounds that impale or inflame. Water scorches like acid. And fledglings are devastated. So this
is like the tutorial zone, obviously. This whole first part.
To suit my foes.
But the buttons in this game, not great. I'm gonna say right now, or whatever. The combat is not the strong suit of this game. Get him in there. Oh my god. You have to walk him in there, literally. Oh!
From the flesh. A creature's soul
doesn't make a lot of sense that you fight a lot of these guys out in the open and they don't die in the sunlight, but every now and then there's the sunlight beams. I'm standing there in the sunlight too, that way this jackass doesn't attack me. Man, really, I should have brought in food and gotten the nachos while I'm doing this. I'm fucking starving, man. Look at that tongue. That's me on the nachos here in a little bit. What am I trying to do? Get him into the water? You know, I need to do that like 10 times to get an achievement. Look, he's getting loose. Yeah, it's better to... because it's so hard to get them on the damn... Look! I already knew it. I was like, it's not going to land perfectly. It's so awkward. It was better in the PS1 days. Let's try again. To be fair, those are almost everywhere in this game, except for when they're not. You're like, I better just leave the fight. I have no means to kill the enemy. A little bit of cube pushing here.
Your physical prowess surpasses what you knew in life. Even massive obstacles can be moved effortlessly.
So I'm going to explain more of the lore of this universe in the subsequent videos. And I don't want to repeat myself because I already kind of started doing that in the other ones. I'm just kind of going to give my history with the game. That I was a kid when both games first came out and played them pretty much immediately within the first year of their release. And was excited about them. I mean, this was a time when, like, you know, these systems were new, graphics were constantly pushing the boundary or whatever, and so games were becoming more and more realistic. That even within, like, a 10-year span, games had completely evolved from, like Mario Brothers to like this. And it was mind-blowing. And we thought that games were going to keep going like that forever. And to a certain extent, games have progressed within my lifetime. I would say like 10 years after this, they progressed even more, etc. But I'll be honest, I feel like within the last 10 years, from 2015 to 2025, they've kind of stagnated. They don't really have very many original or new ideas. Maybe every 4 years or so, they come up with like a really good new design of a game. Like I really like Marvel Rivals right now. I think that's a cool game. But most really awesome games or their premises have been made, I would say, 10 years ago or longer. Your games like your Left 4 Dead's. I haven't played a lot of like the new Final Fantasy. Maybe those are still masterpieces, so I can't speak to that.
Martyr himself to restore Nosgoth's balance. Cain condemned the world to the decay you see.
Look at that guy.
In that moment,
what do you think his hand's bandaged for? Is it from too much wanking?
Really played out. Nosgoth teeters on the brink of collapse.
Alright, none of that. I don't want to get banned on my first attempt at commentary here. I forgot that I was holding that. I'm going to throw it at this asshole. Right, wave it around at him. Oh! You like that? Have that for breakfast. Yeah, I can't believe that I didn't do the comment. So I figured it would be easier. As I was making these videos, I was like, you know what? It'd be so easy to do commentary while I'm playing, and then to just release that as like a YouTube video. So I'm kind of out of laziness. I did this. That being said, it's not as easy as you jokers think to come up with things to say for this stuff. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, yeah. Anybody else collect all of the different spears in this game and have like a favorite spear you like to use? Having seen a lot of them too, I like this metal one. Oh, look at this. Get this asshole right in the buttocks here. It's weird, I knew how to aim at this early part, but then later on I was very... Oh! It's fucking awesome. So before you have the Soul Reaver, you're constantly losing health in the material realm. It's not super fast, but it's enough to be somewhat of a hassle. Oh, I guess it didn't hit him clean enough to impale him. So look, they got better footwork than I do. See how he just did that little Mike Tyson stutter step? Oh, I gotta get into there as well. I'm like recognizing all of this stuff. Having played through this game for fucking 10 hours as of recent, I have like all of this stuff memorized. But at the time, I'm warning you right now, in this playthrough, I'm gonna get lost a lot and have to backtrack and kind of look at a rock for a while and be not sure what to do and So you're not watching. I would say I'm like better than the complete person cold going in or whatever. And I'm able to solve some puzzles pretty well, pretty easily, but it's where you don't know. It's whenever you don't know where to go forward next, and there's not any sort of obvious clues, that I'm a fucking imbecile. And I want to say this right now too. A lot of the secret items that I had to go back and get, some of them I actually had to look up, and like I don't blame myself because like there's no way I would have known otherwise, and I would have just been lost for hours and hours and hours. So no shame. And this is, I wasn't sure when I first made this if I was going to do 100% completion or not. Now that I'm kind of older, I actually do like going back and doing 100% completions. I did one for Final Fantasy VII earlier last year. I really enjoyed doing that. That was very, very fulfilling because I was stuck forever. I could not... Ruby Weapon was terrifying to me. I finally figured out how to beat that fucking asshole. Yes.
Constant. The endlessly swirling vortex of the abyss. My tomb and the wolf.
You're supposed to jump in there again to get an achievement, and I was just too chicken. I'm gonna save it right before I like do anything.
Much of Nosgoth's
and jump in it at the very end of the game.
These cliffs gave me my bearings.
It's not a super rare achievement. Like 10% of people have it. I was looking at the achievements the other day.
How my descendants had fared.
Alright guys, this seems like a good enough place to leave off as any. I'm gonna go and get those nachos, man, because watching this guy just eat as much as he wants is making me want to do the same. So, take care. We'll see you guys later. Alright, and we are back. You best believe I got those fucking... Oh, man. I got those nachos. I'm ready to attack these nachos like I just fucking attacked that guy. I couldn't wait to get home. My whole car was filled up with the smell of fajita. Delicious nachos. It comes in a fucking box the size of a pizza box, but it's about to be gone here in a bit. Obviously, I'm not eating while I'm playing. I recorded all of this and didn't think about doing commentary at first. And thought, you know, to hell with it. It might be interesting to do some commentary for a game like this. And, so yeah. I think I'll probably do like 10 more minutes or so. Probably closer to like 9 or so now. Then I'm probably going to take a break and go watch an NBA game, and I suggest you do the same. My OKC Thunder, man, they're doing pretty good right now. Season's wrapping up. I think all the games are pretty much over. You can go back and watch any of the classics. NBATV.com. Subscribe and get the app. Not sponsored yet, but NBA, you hear me, baby.
Wiped from this
Put your boy Justin on.
excrement from boot. I knew the hand that wrought this deed.
AKA the Bluntest Diagram. Oh my god. Get his ass. Man, I hate when that kind of shit happens. It happens a lot in this game. It gets you used to it quickly. Well, at least because I don't have Soul Reaver yet, there's literally no point in me having or not having full health. I also didn't realize if you can click in the right thumbstick, then you can switch between the old graphics and the newer ones, so you can see exactly the difference between the two of them to compare them. I didn't know that at this point in the playthrough, otherwise I would have showcased that, but you can do that yourself. It'll be... I think I do it at a certain point, but either way, you can see for yourself. There's a portal that I just activated. There's portals all over Nosgoth. They let you teleport between regions quicker. That being said, some of them are alright. Some of them you get so lost and confused because everything looks the damn same in these games. In these games, I'm going to comment on that later on. They didn't hold your hand and give you checkpoints or, fucking indicators like on a map or on a compass of where to go like Fallout does. I think I used that specific example. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's right when it comes to these nachos. Oh, get his ass. Going into the Raziel's Peak or whatever. Has he revealed already that all his people have... Spoilers if so. Or if not. Look how shiny this spear is. Now they all function exactly the same, but I don't want to start things with a metal gate post. It's just a shitty Star Trek spear. Whatever. I almost want to compare the original graphics and that original script behind the entrance of the pillars. I'm getting the hang of that. Probably also cutting too many of these out, unless you just be, okay, I recognize all of this now. Sorry about that. My bad. See that thing in the middle? Later on you can get an ability to fuck around with that, but right now I don't have an ability. There's a lot of extras in this game. Extra abilities, extra health, stuff like that. But it's really not mostly accessible until the very end of the game after you get all of the abilities. This game follows a very Legend of Zelda-like premise like I was talking about earlier, and by that I mean you go from area to area, each area is a different dungeon, has a different boss, and upon conquering the boss, it gives you a new ability. Of course, in Zelda, you normally find an item inside of the dungeon and then just killing the boss is a formality. But in this one, it's the opposite, where killing the boss grants you a new ability. You consume his soul, and then you have part of his strengths. No, please!
I didn't recognize these flayed racks of flesh. Their scent was vampiric. They gnawed upon their victim's carcass like dogs.
Sounds awesome to me. So what if we're not exactly pouring out cups and so forth? Playing violins. Don't be so elitist, Raziel. Oh, you like that? Oh my god. Put that in your fucking yearbook. This guy should be horrified. You didn't like brother. Oh, oh. Your next bug. Do you think anybody got mad that this dude looks basically like Nightcrawler from X-Men? You guys want to see some gay crossover fanfiction between the two of them? They're both just societal rejects. No, don't do that. I think I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so kind of ironic this is happening. This is a human, and you can fight humans and devour their souls in this game, but if you don't, later on when you go to the human citadel, they're peaceful to you. The human citadel is like an optional area. Oh, see, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't know how to back out. I almost quit right here is why the game is paused. But I was like, I haven't saved it at all. So I basically just had to go along with it, and I was actually pissed. But it ends up, there's no quick save. It ends up not being that big of a deal later on, thankfully. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but apparently killing one, or even a few of them, is okay, because I think I ended up killing like 2 of them by accident. Now I'm trying to practice how to get out of it if you need to, but there's no point now. Who cares? Alright, what's done is done.
This charnel house bore the unmistakable marks of Melchiah's clan. To what depths had our dynasty plummeted if these ghouls were the descendants of my high-born brother? Were they so debased as to recruit fledglings from the desiccated corpses here interred?
Alright, Ducks, this seems like a good enough place to leave off as far as the playthrough episode 1 goes. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me or whatever for this time. I'm about to go watch some NBA, baby. And, peace out, and I'll see you guys in the next episode, which is actually basically right now here in a bit. Take care. Alright, and we are back. I was only gone for like 20 minutes or so, and I want to actually kind of do like 30 more minutes of this, and then I thought it was tonight, but it's actually tomorrow, so never mind, I have more time. I thought that it was going to be the playing game tonight of Warriors versus Memphis. Dude, I'm disgusted by how the Warriors lost that game against the Clippers. And I know people are going to be like, oh, it's not one thing, it's every possession matters. No, man. They had really, really terrible last possession defense, meaning like whenever you know the other team only has like 3 seconds to shoot, they're going to get off a shot because the buzzer's about to go off, it's about to be the end of the quarter or the end of a possession, and it's like each time that there was a situation like that, they just fell asleep. It really, really reminded me of that Pistons versus the Birds back like in like 86 or something like that. Larry Bird versus the Detroit Pistons, when the Pistons already had the game. All they had to do was nothing. It was just let the clock run out, and they fucking inbounded the ball. Bird stolen the ball. He passes to Dennis Johnson. Easy 2 points, and then it ends up the game. It goes to the Birds. Anyways, so here we are. I forget what I'm doing right here. I wasn't paying attention for a second, and now I'm starting to wonder if my person in real life was paying attention. Oh, I think I'm trying to flip this. That's probably what I'm trying to do. I don't know why. I'm confused as to where to take this right here, and it's because I'm not paying attention. I'm not seeing something on the top left right here. I already can tell. I'll figure it out once I look around. Like, let me look around a little bit. Yup, and then I'm like, oh, yeah. So yeah, I was watching that, and then I was watching my Thunder. They played their last game against the Pelicans. It was a completely inconsequential game, so we had like most of our bench out there. That being said, we looked phenomenal. Isaiah Joe was aggressive. I forget this like backup center kid that we have. His name starts with the C, Carlson or something like that. He looked good.
And therefore received the poorest portion of Cain's gift. Although immortal, his soul could not sustain the flesh, which retained much of its previous human frailty. This weakness, it seemed, was passed on to his offspring. Their fragile skins barely contained the underlying decay.
Look at this poor vampire. He's a shitty vampire. It kind of reminds me of like Vampire the Masquerade too. I don't know which came out first. Vampire the Masquerade I heard was awesome. I never got the chance to play it, where there was also like different types of vampires, and each of them had their own positives and negatives. And if you were like a Nosferatu vampire like that, there's like you couldn't even be like seen by humans at all because it would instantly kind of like freak out the game. I don't know all the details, but it seemed cool. Anyway, so all of the vampires of each area are kind of unique in their own way, and all of them have their own abilities. These are the vampires in Malachi's area, and as he just described, they are like these graveyard scavenging vampires. The vampires in the earlier area, I'm not going to get too into it. I have a minor complaint that I'll save for that later on video. But the vampires in the early area, you actually do kind of see them again towards the end of the game because they are a descendant of one of your brothers. That's kind of why it irritates me to think, here's these guys again. I wanted to see something different. So I guess that kind of does spoil it. Another teleporter right here. I think there's an achievement for getting all of these. But either way, you do need to get these, especially if you're going to try to do a 100% completion run through, because later on you're going to have to come back to these areas. And trust you me, you don't want to have to backtrack. I made the mistake of that. You're going to see in one of my videos where I forgot to save before, and I think that you literally have to like exit out of the game in order to like get like where you're supposed to go. I think that you have like no choice. But I exited out of the game without saving and had to do a whole fucking dungeon all over again. And so I think that part's also going to be missing commentary in the future. You might skip it if you want to. I don't know if I'm going to reload that portion of me doing the dungeon all over again. Or, you know, just have a caption saying, hey, I lost. I got back to where I was, that I accidentally backed out. But yeah. But so far, it's not bad doing this commentary, a little bit different, but kind of fun. I thought it might be fun to try something new, and so I'm really, really thankful for anybody checking this out. Because it's always fun to learn a new skill and to, you know, get a chance to kind of be myself and just have fun with you guys. Look at this. Thank God his friend is just being a puss and not watching. We get flagged for hate speech. Hate speech. He was referencing people's genitals in reference to their character. Alright, I'll tone that down. Oh, I can already see something right there. Alright, not to give too much away. Yeah, I probably even was thinking it right there. But later on in this game, you get more abilities. And, oh, so I did check this area out earlier. You get more abilities, and you can climb up that surface of that thing. I can recognize that surface as being climbable. But right now, I don't have any of the abilities, so I just started the game, so here I go. And sorry here, I'm going to do that a lot. I really shouldn't have done any of that in this first part. I should have just done the complete, just basic playthrough or whatever. Look at me get my ass kicked, too. But I backtrack a lot, looking for not necessarily items that I'm missing, but also like if I'm on the correct path, because like I'm a person who's like, oh, I'm sure I need to do this first before I can proceed, and I'm always second guessing myself, and it shows in this playthrough. So apologies for that. Maybe by the very end of this experience, I'll have more confidence in just being able to just go forward, damn it, or whatever. That being said, it really didn't take me the longest to play through this game. There's like an achievement to get it done in less than 6 hours, and I think, knowing what I know now, I think I should be able to do that if I were to really try. But I wanted to get all the items and so forth, and so I was a little bit slower than that. I think I might get 11 or 12, maybe 10. I remember some of this stuff now. Even coming back. Get his ass. Get him. Oh, horse shit. Try again. Yes. Oh my god. What a crock of bull butter. As my coach, my high school used to say. Oh my god. I almost should just progress onwards. I've never seen such a thing. Finally. I feel like I'm probably gonna get hit here by accident. No, I guess it all worked out for me. What am I doing here? Why am I even... I'm probably just gonna give up. I should. Oh. Wasting my time and yours. There we go. I don't know why I'm so desperate to have full health here. Whatever, that's me, I guess. Alright. Yeah. I remember all this exactly. Okay, I guess that did pop up. I was questioning that. I was like, I bet you that didn't pop up, and I figured it out all on myself. Graphics look kind of shitty right there, in all honesty. Am I using the old graphics right here? What's happening?
These wraiths are vampire spirits, fettered too long.
Yeah, that's the other enemy of the spirit realm or whatever. There's only really two types of enemies. Those wraiths, or not the wraiths, I forget what he calls them, the scavengers or whatever. There's like an actual word that he uses, like specifically for this game. But then there are those wraiths also. And in all honesty, you kind of reign supreme in this spirit realm, that, especially with the Soul Reaver, once you get that. I think that early on when you don't have the Soul Reaver and you don't have all of the range, maybe it's a tiny bit more inconvenient, but at no point is it really ever hard being in the spirit realm. Oh, and I forgot to mention too, so, I was talking about like the Legend of Zelda, how that's a mechanic that's actually been used before also. If you remember A Link to the Past, that had the Dark World, and it's basically the same premise as this, where you can shift. Oh, I keep doing that, trying to high jump. Sorry. What's it gonna do? Yeah, I think that you have to shift right here. And I'm glad that I did here, because sometimes I'm like, no, I gotta look at everything first. But you have to shift here, that way you can Manipulate objects. Ugh. Great fucking job, Justin. And I gotta go back. Look at this. At least whenever you shift yourself back... No, I guess not. I guess I lost my health because I didn't have... You never have full health without the Soul Reaver. I forgot that. Oh. I might skip this for 30 seconds or so. Maybe I'll edit this out during the thing. Alright, there we go. Oh, okay, I see what you're supposed to do already. I don't know why I paused it. Probably had to go pee or do something like that. Alright, let's skip ahead for a bit. Oh, I gotta go back. No, whatever, that's fine. So yeah, as you can see, there's this cube here. Check me out. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing exactly here. Just trying to push this cube inside. Oh my god. Fuck this. I'm skipping this part. There we go. Alright, so there's me pushing it in. And by skipping, I don't mean that like I'm in the game skipping. I mean that I'm watching this bullshit again and I forgot that I made all these mistakes. And so since I'm just doing the commentary right now, like I'm some sort of director, there's no way I'm sitting through it. I'm probably going to try to cut that during the actual scene if I can remember. Hopefully so. Yeah, I think I should be able to. I think I remember this too. Okay, so check it out. So that was supposed to happen. Yup. You gotta enter the spirit realm now. Or maybe I messed up. I gotta move one of those cubes or something like that. Let me see. But I know that you... Sorry, I'm getting some text too, but I'm gonna leave on the recording. Kick his ass. Now me and my friend are talking about Twilight. Speaking of vampires, and just about how, like, you know, sometimes the things that don't make sense about them are kind of part of the charm. Like, but I mean, to be fair, this is kind of like the opposite example. This game, with just the Shakespearean and dramatic dialogue, which is great, phenomenal, or whatever, I guess it could be viewed as a little bit cheesy, or, you know, by today's standards, maybe. But I think that it works to its benefit. So I'm just saying that it's part of its charm. I hope that recorded. I think that it did. It better have. Beat this. I like this spear a lot. I don't throw it at him. Oh, never mind. Look at that. We've been voodooed. I wonder if I showed my cousin Jerry this game. I mean, gaming was so much more kind of like word of mouth, and like, I don't know what the word would be. I guess it'd be like a version of viral or whatever, but us kids always try to expose other kids to, you know, just the games that were fucking dope. I would say at the time, yeah, this game was up there. Get what I'm doing with this. I gotta get it to the other side, I guess. And I guess you can push it if need be, because there's the hole that it goes in, right? Obviously. I guess you can push it if need be. But I probably gotta push it down there and flip it down. Yeah, I see what you're supposed to do. Of course. couldn't make it too easy. Yeah, I should make you practice doing this flip here in a second. So yeah, I'm talking about vampire movies also at the same time. If you're watching this, comment your favorite vampire movie. I got a couple. I'm gonna go with Texas Classics. I'm here in Texas. It's a movie called Near Dark. It was actually directed by the only lady to ever win Best Director. Her name's Catherine Bigelow. She was married to James Cameron back in the 80s. She won an Academy Award for Best Director for a movie called Zero Dark 30. It was all about how they killed Osama bin Laden. Oh, I see what I gotta do. I gotta move angles. And yeah, speaking of which too, just so you guys know, I actually have a different channel called Psychology and Movies, where I'm a movie review Justin, and I actually have ton of videos over there, all kind of about movies and about like psychological terms. It's cool. I got one on an Interview with the Vampire. It's all about depression. That's like one of the major themes of that movie. A theme for this game from like a literature standpoint is kind of all about like rage and blind hubris, that like rage blinds people to be very self-righteous, and then they make things a lot worse because they let them, first of all, they're merciless and they hurt like innocent people in the process, but then also on top of it, like they are very easily manipulated by people that are smarter than them. It's like a big theme of this game too. Just get up there. Fucking A. Am I waiting to teleport? Why didn't I go back into the material realm? Maybe because I can't. Maybe I gotta do this. I remember doing this to and being like, I can't do this. This is too hard of a jump. Well, some of these jumps were close, baby boy. I don't think this one was that bad. I think that one was alright. There's a jump that I had to do like fucking 5 times, and I was like doubtful it could even be done. And I was like, let me just keep trying. And I think eventually, like on like the 5th or 6th try, that it worked. And I was like, oof. Because I was gonna have to fucking either go backtrack or go look up a video. It would have wasted forever. When like the answer was like right in front of me the whole time, but there was just no clear indicator. So it raises doubts in you. You can't do that, Raziel. Oh, maybe we gotta... Alright, I gotta... That. Where are the cubes at? I'm confused here rewatching this. Oh, there they are right there, of course. And then I already see the puzzle here as well. As you can see, the shapes of the thing need to match how they're going inside. I don't know if they need to be facing, or as long as they're in the same general shape of them. And as long as it makes a clicking sound, then we know that it's supposed to be how it's supposed to be. So I think that was good. And we're about to find out either way. But I think I remember literally thinking that and saying that. Like, let me make sure I'm not recording myself as it is. Oh my god. That's right, there's like a double noise here in a bit because you can hear the game's music over my recording as well. Alright, hold on. Yeah, I don't think that I'm giving my commentary yet. For the millionth time, or for the 3rd time, I guess, when I was recording this, didn't know that I was going to be doing a playthrough with commentary. I thought that I was just fucking around in this game. That I might show certain stuff for Duck TV or whatever, and I thought, you know what, this game's really probably not the best for putting like on Duck TV. It's probably better to do like a whole like playthrough. Because I was already going to play through it anyways, and I wanted to try something different, so that's my 3rd time explaining that I am recording this post-production in a way for this particular part. The other parts, I was like, I might as well put it in my headset. Oh, there's a health over there that I could have gotten. Okay. So obviously you gotta do something with that. Probably just looking around here first to make sure. But if I were to jump down, I'm sure that I could not get back to this cube very easily. Let's come all the way back around. So I better shove that. Yeah! Alright, Raziel. Now where does that go? I'm just looking around before I jump. Look before you leap, as Aesop said. And eventually I'm like, eh, fuck it. I gotta use this cube, obviously. And where does it go? You can't go back up. I think if I wanted to, now that I think about it, because there's this cube over here, I probably could have pushed that other cube back over to there and been like, no, I want to go back the way that I came. But, let's see, look. There's like another cube. Let's see if I notice this. See how long it takes me to notice the... I already know, having played this like 5 times as of recent, and having to go through all of these levels over and over and over again, because not only that I played through these levels, but now I'm watching it, but also I've got all of the extras that you have to come back to get all of the extras. Yeah, and so, I've like memorized these levels a lot better, but at the time though, I mean, I didn't know any of it. It had been years. The last time that I played this game was 25 years ago or so. So I remembered a lot of it. I remembered a lot of the like the boss strategies and so forth, and some of this stuff. But the specifics is these cube puzzles and all of that. No, I didn't remember any of that. I think I remembered a couple of times where you're supposed to like shift into the other realm. Oh, what am I even doing over here? I shouldn't even be in this area, so it tells me I still haven't quite figured out where to go. Here, hold on. Am I gonna figure this shit out? There we go. Come on, Justin. Oh my god. Oh, I killed him by accident. That's hilarious. I think I actually got an achievement for that, believe it or not. I guess the achievements aren't popping up constantly, but I think I got one for smushing him with those cubes. Come on, Justin. Figure it out. I'm like right here in front of it. Yes! It's gonna take this guy all fucking year. If I just would have jumped up there off the bat, it would have been easy. I don't know why I didn't see that. If I remember correctly, I would say, and as long as I don't keep jumping in the water and wasting time, I would say that like 80% there. Well, this video only has 15 minutes left anyways. Now I'm kind of realizing too that you don't necessarily have to fight all these vampires. I kind of wasted a lot of time doing that. In that sense, I was kind of like a little kid. I really didn't have to engage each and every one of these vampires, but I sure damn did. So like right now, there's like no... Oh, look at that! Well, I'm glad that is part of the stream, never mind. That's kind of cool. Yeah, we should be pretty close to the boss here. I wonder if we're going to actually kill him in this episode. And keep in mind, too, by, like, the point that you're going to see this, I've already, like, gotten to basically the end of the game. And so all these episodes are basically already made. I just didn't think to record myself, unfortunately, until... Oh, okay, now I still gotta do one more puzzle here. Oh, excuse me. I might speed this up in post-production. Take the elevator down. Alright, what are we doing now? There's my friend Dustin complaining about Steph Curry. I think he was a hero of that last game. It was just disgusting to see the Warriors fall asleep at key moments. I think it's really a coaching issue, in all honesty. I think that they're fine for the most part. Well, maybe not. I was going to say offensively, but really not. That teams have figured out their whole, like, setting a million screens and running around relentlessly or whatever, and they've kind of figured out the spots that Steph likes to get to. Then something needs to change if they don't make a deep push or whatever. But I think even then it might be time to shop around for a new coach. No offense to the great Steve Kerr. It's just lived its cycle. Teams have started to smarten up to it or whatever. I don't think it would work in the NBA from this point onward. I think I gotta turn like another button in here. I think this took me like a second to figure out, because I was like, what are you supposed to do with this? It's cool that I'm up there just stretching my body out. Looking like one of the, I was going to say the Avatar people, but really not so much. This is like one of their Dark Brethren. Avatar in the land of the Dark Brethren. Here I am being like real confused about what to do, but I think that, if I remember correctly, yeah, exactly. There was just another switch that I was supposed to get. Well, that didn't help me. I think I gotta go back the way that I came now too, embarrassingly enough. Oh my god, Justin. I mean, Bluntest Diagram. Why am I doing this? Just, okay, at least it worked out for me. I was like, just climb up the other way. Okay, so you turn that on. We'll see what this opens up, if anything, right here. I swear to God, this turned on. It turns on probably that elevator, I'm guessing, upstairs or whatever, for that to work. Because I was like, well, what the fuck? Who cares that I turned that on? Yeah, it shows that. I think I even get lost here for a second, because I'm like, well, okay, well, what are you supposed to do? Because it just is like a loop, it's just a circle, but I'm like, maybe I'm supposed to go the other way. Yup. This happens to me a lot, guys, sorry. I'm like very easily... So I think I even know here. I'm like, oh, okay, it's just a circle. I hope that I figure it out. No, I don't think that I did. I think I'm going to walk into this room right now and still be confused, in all honesty. Yup. I'm like, what? I was just here. Yeah, asshole. And see, it didn't help that whenever that turned on, it didn't kind of show the area to go back to. This game's normally kind of pretty good. Oh, okay, I'm glad I came back to get that metal pole. That's probably my favorite spear look in this game. It's just the classic, simple, true, just the metal pole. Imagine taking that one right to the guts. No! Alright, at least I came back up now. I did do the right thing by coming back up. I think that there is a like some cubes that you drop or something. Now that you gotta use them for something. Here I am lost again. So what I'm supposed to do is supposed to pull that lever. Would be the thing to do, obviously. And now I'm lost in like backtracking. Maybe I was playing this game too late at night. I melted my brain. Still running around. See, I know what you're supposed to do now. You're supposed to pull that lever, but at the time I didn't understand or know this. So I was just fucking walking around like an asshole. There you go. Pull this lever, Justin. Yes. There you go. And this whole area is called the Acropolis. I think I'll talk about it like in the other video too. I think that's such a cool thing because I never made like the connection that it's basically just like a city, an underground city of just these wretched, nasty, stinky vampires. Oh, it must stink down there. I think I'm trying to figure out what to do. I think what you're supposed to do, if I remember correctly, and I think I got it pretty quickly even in this playthrough, is you're supposed to push those towards like the corners. You'll see what I mean. The corners, see that thing right there? How there's a centerpiece, and how there's 4 corners where these cubes would hypothetically fit. You'll see what I mean here. So let's try it. Oh my god, Justin, please. Why am I trying to pull this again? Come on, man. You know that it's not going to do nothing. At the time, though, I was, I guess, very confused by this. It'll just take me a second, I'm sure. I mean, anybody could tell. Maybe the fact that I can't find the other cubes, though, because there should be more than one if that's the thing to do. Maybe it goes... Okay, that one takes you further down. Maybe you don't have to do those cubes at all. Maybe you just come down here, I guess. That cubes to get you back up, I guess. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think we're getting really close here to this boss. Why am I... Okay, this is a different area. I can tell. Not really quite sure why I didn't fuck with those things right there. Okay, well now I guess I have to. I think we're barely just not going to quite get to the boss in this one. I'll probably try to cut this a little bit better so at the very end of this episode that it does get to the boss. I don't know, I have to cut out like the part where I just am fucking falling around and doing all that stuff though. Justin, stop with this. Yeah, I'll have to cut out a couple of these parts. Or maybe not. Guess it does lead you in a circle. And then yeah, you're supposed to do that. Oh my god. almost there. Come on. Hey, you'll see here in a second. Although, again, I don't know if it initially directly reveals that door down there. We're about to see. All right. That it? One more? Darn it. Alright, this one's not so bad. It's just right there. This is a bit of new. Check it out. Now you'll see what's going to happen right here. It's not the biggest deal. It's going to cause this thing to fall. Bam. Right? Now that happened, did that open up the bottom door, or what's the deal with that? As you can see, I'm like been in the physical realm for so long that I've lost like most of my health, which is why I'm flickering blue like that. I'm about to lose the ability to be in this realm. Let's see, now I think, okay, maybe you are supposed to, okay, yeah. I might have fucked this up where I don't know if they go in the inside corners or the outside corners. We're about to find that out here in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead a little bit. You guys see what I'm kind of trying to do here. You don't need to watch it directly. Alright. I guess that original plan didn't work, so now I'm pushing them like that. Let's see if that does anything. Man, it sure took me a while to figure out that they need to go in the corners. Come on, Justin, you knew that. Alright guys, well this has been... yeah, this has been this first playthrough of this game. I guess we're going to get to the boss in the next area. Thank you for joining me, and hope you guys come in again for my other videos, or just to continue this series. Take care!